Hello, math friends. Today we're going to talk about how you can express a geometric sequence in the form f of x equals a times b to the x. So to do that, option A is that I'll give you 50 cents the first week, and I'll double the money each week that I pay you after that. So I offered this up at my own house, or I said, hey, the other option, my sons, you can get $5 a week. Okay, and so I showed them with this doubling option what would happen. I said, look, I'll give you 50 cents in week 1. In week 2, I'll double that and give you $1. In week 3, I'll double that and give you $2. In week 4, I'll double that and give you $4. And they were like, wait a second, after 4 weeks, you're still only going to pay me $4? Mom, no thanks. They kind of were really super leaning towards option B. But I know that as they get smarter in their math life and learn about geometric sequences, they might change their mind. Let's look at why. So if we look at the equation for a geometric sequence, we know this is a geometric sequence, of course, because we're multiplying by a constant. In this case, the thing when we double, we're multiplying by the constant of 2, right? So all we need to know to be able to write our equation in this form is our starting value and that constant. So A is going to be my starting value. This is where you start every time. And B is going to be my multiplier. Okay, so here my starting value is 50 cents and my multiplier is 2. So here's my equation for my geometric sequence. This can come in handy because now I can take a look at, if I said, hey boys, why don't you take a look at the 10th week and see if you really think this is a good deal to pick the $5, right? Because they're still pretty little, they're thinking that's the route to go. So let's take a look at what happens. If this is week 1, this is week 2, week 3, week 4. When I fill this into my equation, though, I have to remember that actually I'm going to fill in a 0 for my first week. Because when I take anything to the 0 power, I get it to be a 1. And I really don't want to multiply by my 2 yet. So that gives me 50 cents times 1 and gives me my first term of 50 cents. If I fill in a 1, for my next week, I fill in a 1, 2 to the first power is 2, 2 times 50 cents. That's exactly what I want after 2 weeks, which is $1. Okay, so then I'd fill in a 2 for 3 weeks, and I'd fill in a 3 for 4 weeks. So I can see that, hey, if I wanted 10 weeks, I better fill in a 9 into my equation. So I take my 50 cents times 2 to the 9th power. And if I do that, and I plug it into my calculator, I actually get $256. $256. What were my kiddos thinking? They could have gotten $256 in week 10 for their allowance. Thankfully, I told them about this, but they didn't think that hard. See, you always should think real hard. So how much will you get paid in the 10th week? If you use option A, you're going to get $256. If you use option B, just $5. So the beginning, it looks like not such a great deal. I think you guys can use this geometric sequence knowledge to help yourself out. I think you should tell your parents, hey, I'll take 1 cent. And you double it every week and see how fast you get to an amount that makes you pretty happy. Or maybe you need to start at a nickel. I don't know. You do some experimenting. Just remember your first term is always your A and your multiplier is always your B. Maybe you want to go for having them triple it. I don't know. But do some experimenting. Remember how to write geometric sequences and equations so you can work it and figure out how much you'll make after each week. And I think you'll be making big money soon.